Hey Hunters, Halo Zoo here for another very special video talking about my D&D 5.5 project. So basically, for the most part, as a quick summary to what this project is, this is my full rework of 5th edition D&D that I've been working on for years, and this is going to be the first video showing off one of the full class reworks that I'm doing, or at least reworks of what I've done before, or updates or whatever. After the D&D 5.5, or not 5.5, D&D 2024 updates. So you're going to see some new stuff, and today we're talking about the Barbarian as the first of the 3 warrior classes, which were the first ones I did because just randomly did it. So, right off the bat with Barbarian, we get to see their class progression tree. So, you can see Barbarian progression. So, of course, we have proficiency bonus, how that works, level. You still have rages, and we still have fast movement. At first level, they have weapon mastery. They unlock their primal path, which is their main subclass. They also get fighting style initiate, as one of the things I've done is give them fighting styles, because I felt like Barbarian and Rogue, at least, it felt right to have it. However, they have much more limited versions than the other 3 classes that have traditionally had it. They also still have Rage, and they have Enduring Defense, which is a replacement to Unarmored Defense that we will see later when we get into core features. They still have Reckless Attack, and they do have Danger Sense at 2nd level. 3rd level, they get their 3rd Rage now. They also get a Path feature and Primal Knowledge. And another side note is all classes get their subclasses at 1st level. The only exception is going to be on Fighter, but they have a very unique feature that is very different to what other classes get, as to why they're getting a subclass / fighting style type thing. But anyway, 3rd level Barbs get Path feature and Primal Knowledge. 4th level, you don't get anything because that is a ASI by default. However, those are not linked to class progression. They are linked to character progression, so if you multi-class, you will still get them every 4 levels, though I might have feats be tied to this. So you have to be 4 levels in the class to get a feat, but I don't know. Anyway, 5th level, you get extra attack and fast movement. And fast movement starts at 5 feet for Barbarians, but they do get 10 feet later, as we can see. 6th level, you get a Path feature and the Fighting Style Adept. So Fighting Style Adept is a new thing, because I decided, rather than get one feature from your fighting style, what if you got multiple? This is also something that is going to be seen over in the Warlock on their Pact boons, as that is something I wanted to do. But fighting styles also have 3 different features, so they have whereas your main subclass will have 6 features, these have 3. Then at 7th, you have Feral Instinct and Instinctive Pounce. 8th level, ASI and Feat. And as a side note, that is both ability score increase and a feat. That has been completely severed from each other. 9th level, we have Reckless Lethality and Brutal Strikes. So that is one of the new things that has been added over from D&D 2024. And you'll see it's not quite what it was before, but it has changed, hopefully for the better, I would imagine. Then 10th level, get a Path feature. You also got the 4th Rage at 6th level. 11th is going to be Relentless Rage. 12th, all you get is the 5th Rage use and ASI or feat. 13th level, you have Versatile Brutal Strikes. So that is the first of those upgrades. You also get 10-foot fast movement. 14th level, you get a path feature and the fighting style master feature. So you get the full effect of your fighting style, whichever one it is. 15th level, you have persistent rage. 16th level, you don't get anything special except ASI and feet. 17th level is savage brutal strikes. And this is when you get triple attack. So as another thing, there are 2 classes that get the triple attack. There are actually 3 that have triple attack, but there is 1 who gets quadruple attack. But it is not who had it before, as it has been moved from fighter over to monk. But the barbarian and fighter will get triple attack. They just get it at 17th level. 18th, they have indomitable might. 19th, nothing. It's an ASI and feet level. 20th is the final path feature, as they now have a path feature at the very end, as well as primal champion. But as you'll see, it's not what it was before, because I honestly never liked it. At least from a mechanical standpoint, I hate it. I get that it's actually one of the best. It just sucks, in my opinion. It's like, mechanically, I just hate it. It's just more stats. Anyway, going over to the core features right here. Actually, I'm going to go to viewing mode. So their HP, still 1d12 hit dice per level. Starting HP, however, is 12 plus your constitution score rather than modifier. This is a change I wanted to make as part of the one of my main goals with 5.5 is to make first level actually worth playing. I don't want any of this stupid, well, experienced parties are expected to start at 3rd. No. You're good from first level on. There may be a variant rule available to have level 0 characters who have reduced HP and have they don't have their subclasses yet. However, that is a variant rule, completely separate. The proficiencies. So for armor, you still have light and medium armor along with shields. You still have simple and martial weapons. Now, however, you get 1 tool of your choice. So barbarians, as most martials will get, will have some tool proficiencies. Other classes, like casters, will have some available to them. However, it's usually going to be a specific one, similar to how like bards have musical instruments. The wizard or the druid would have herbalism kit, but now it's stuff like the wizard has calligrapher tools, because it makes sense that they would. Save proficiencies for barbarian, though, are strength and con. They also get to pick 3 different skills from animal handling, acrobatics, athletics, intimidation, medicine, nature, perception, and survival. Also, the light blue is wisdom, the light green is dexterity, light red is strength, light yellow is charisma, and then the light purple is intelligence. Now, weapon mastery. This is very different than what it was before. This is actually even different than what I previewed, because I decided to change what exploits are into basically spells, but slightly different. I don't have any to show off yet in terms of the actual exploits. However, what I will say is that what I showed before, those are stances. So these are your at-will abilities. So every turn, you will be able to enter a stance whenever you make your first weapon attack, and that stance will apply to all attacks that turn. So you can only enter one stance a turn, with some exceptions. I may add one to Barbarian thinking about it, but that is for later. But by default, you only enter one. However, there are specific classes that will have features that let you enter two instead of just one. And then you have exploits. So these will use an amount of stamina. They use one stamina. However, the exploit rank will increase with your level. So think of it kind of like Pact Magic, but it is a daily resource. Also, this would be often tied to weapon damage. And it may also more regularly use full actions rather than just a standard move or bonus action, similar to spells. So I wanted to kind of make it feel different, so there's a lot more your whole turn you put into an exploit to do something like, one might be similar to Steel Wind Strike, that takes your whole turn, you just go around, just a tornado of destruction. So you also learn various exploits as you progress. So the Barbarian and so most will learn exploits, but as we'll see, there is a class that prepares them. Same with stances. They're usually learned, but there is one who prepares them. So they kind of also progress like half-casters. So the exploit rank scales as a half-caster would, and then you go from 3 to 6 stamina as you progress. And as a rule, it tends to be like every 5 levels is when you get more stamina points. So you start with 3, then at 6th level you have 4 stamina points, at 11th level you get 5, and then at 16th level you have 6. And then the exploits, you end up with 7 as a barbarian, and you end up with 6 stances as a barbarian. And the stances will also progress with your cantrips known. So if you're playing a weapon mastery class, you'll have stances. If you're playing a caster, you'll have cantrips. There will also be talents for psionic classes, but they have yet to show up. But at 4th, 10th, and now 15th level, you will get an additional at-will ability learned. So the Barbarians, they have their Primal Path, so that works about as you'd expect it to. You also have the Fighting Style. However, your options will be Dueling, Great Weapon, Long Arm, 2-Weapon, Protection, Defense, Blind Fighting, or Thrown Weapon. So you get those features. I won't be showing off because I'm probably going to rework them quite a bit, but oh well. Then the Rage. So as a bonus action, you enter a rage for 1 minute until you fall unconscious or end your turn without having attacked or forced an enemy to roll a saving throw. So basically how it works in 2024, as you can also use a bonus action on your turn to extend the rage to the end of your next turn. So, boom. Works like 2024 rage there. And you have a number of rages as shown in the Barbarian progression table. And you regain 1 use with a short rest and all uses with a long rest. While raging, your melee weapon attacks and thrown weapon attacks, as I kind of decided to take it where the melee weapon, it doesn't require strength, but the thrown weapons are also part of it. You deal plus prof damage, so that actually does more damage. Also, with improved might, you add an additional plus half proficiency bonus to all con and strength skill and skill checks, as well as con and strength saves. So this is a bit nerfed, but it is also expanded to work with constitution stuff. So if for whatever reason you're rolling a constitution check as part of a skill or using a tool, it works with them. And if you are, it also is applied to your main saving throws. So you kind of get mini expertise with con and strength saves. Also, you have resistance to all physical damage types. So basically what it did before, except there is a new physical damage type called Bleed. Those four are just batched together, and barbarians resist them. There is also Wrath Surges, which is not actually listed in Barbarian progression, but that is because it is tied more to your subclass. So you have Wrath Surges equal to your Constitution modifier that you can access while raging, and you regain uses with a short or long rest. There are no default ones, by the way. At least not yet. Though right now I'm not going to do it. Then we have Enduring Defense. So what this does, basically, it still has unarmored defense. So you add plus con to AC while not wearing armor, in addition to your dexterity modifier. Yeah. That's what it did before. Kind of stupid, but oh well. However, while wearing light and medium armor, you can use Constitution instead of Dexterity for AC. So now you're less mad, or specifically you don't need to have 14 Dexterity anymore. It's still useful to have. It's just you don't need it for armor class anymore. So you're not super mad or anything like that. Then at second level, Reckless Attack works as it does in 2024. When you take the attack action, you can gain advantage on all attack rolls and damage rolls. Gonna edit that. Didn't want it to do that. I forgot that I had put that at some point. But yeah, it's just the 2024 version where you have advantage on attack rolls, but also grant advantage on attack rolls against you till the end of your next turn. So, boom. Danger Sense. You had plus strength to dex saving throws. Yeah, it's nerfed. Well, semi-nerfed. It's like, okay, so basically, you're better at dexterity saving throws. So, you don't have advantage, but you will have a boost to them. I might also change this to when you would roll a dex save, you can roll a strength save instead. That might actually be a cool version to have, because it would also tie into improved might from your rage. So yeah, on the fly, editing, hello. Yeah, just show you how I make these. Anyway, there you go. Just a fun tweak to make it where, while it is not as incredibly powerful as it was before, it will be more consistently useful, as it just makes it a better save for you. So you don't, once again, you don't need dexterity as much. And it also gives you a use for strength saves. Then Primal Knowledge has been modified. So while raging, you can use Constitution instead of the normal ability score for animal handling, acrobatics, intimidation, medicine, nature, perception, survival checks. So it also requires to be proficient in that skill. However, this also once again ties back into improved might, as you also get plus half proficiency bonus to those skill checks, and it is all stuff that appears in your skill proficiencies. Also, you now pick 3. This no longer gives you an extra one. The extra skill is just baked into the class. Extra attack at 5th level. When you take the attack action, make 2 attacks instead of just 1. And now at 17th level, you make 3 attacks instead of 1 or 2. Boom. Fast movement. It's just 5 feet by default at 5th level. But at 13th, it increases to plus 10, so you don't have quite the speed of a monk, but they're still faster than normal. Instinctive Pounce at 7th level. As part of the bonus action, Rage, shift to half your speed. Shift is movement without opportunity attacks. That is a term change that I'm adding in, alongside the just action being called a standard action for the sake of clarity, because my gosh, is it stupid. However, Instinctive Pounce has been expanded on, so you can use it again as a bonus action after you reduce a creature to 0 HP on your turn while raging. So if you kill somebody on your turn, you can also Instinctive Pounce again. So you just have more uses out of Instinctive Pounce. Feral Instincts, just add +con to initiative checks, so once again, further building upon your constitution and strength mattering. 9th level, Reckless Lethality. Basically, this is part of Brutal Strikes. So, Brutal Strikes, what it did before was it gave you two different things. You can forgo advantage with Reckless Attack to get bonus damage, and it also had the additional effects on a hit. Those have been split up and moved into Reckless Lethality and Brutal Strikes. So, how Reckless Lethality works is this is the foregoing advantage. So, when you make a weapon attack while Reckless Attack is active, you can forgo rolling twice on that attack roll to instead deal plus 1d6 extra damage on hit. And let me just that. Just change the punctuation not to make it make sense. So you deal plus 1d6 damage instead, and at 17th level, the extra damage is increased to plus 2d6 damage. And note that this is any number of times. So anytime you roll with combat advantage through Reckless Attack, you can instead of rolling twice, you deal extra damage. And you can do that for any number of attacks. Now, do note that it also means it still technically is combat advantage, so if for whatever reason you have another feature, like say you're a weird Barbarian Rogue multiclass, you would actually still be able to get Reckless Lethality and your sneak attack bonuses. Then Brutal Strikes, the other part of it, whenever you Reckless Attack and hit with a weapon attack, you can choose one of the following extra effects to add to that attack, but you can only use one extra effect per round. So, effectively, this is now severed from the Reckless Lethality portion, but you get to either do a Forceful Blow, which pushes the target up to 15 feet away, and lets you shift up to 15 feet into a space and 5 feet of that target. So basically push and then move with them. Or you can Hamstring Blow and slow them by 15 feet until the start of your next turn. I haven't changed the flavor text on that. Some of these, the italicized text is just flavor text. I probably need to update some of these because I had it but never fully updated it. Don't worry. Then 11th level, we have Relentless Rage. So whenever you would drop to 0 HP while raging, you can make a DC 10 con save. And if you do, regaining twice your Barbarian level HP on a success. Each time you use it, DC increases by +5 until you finish a long rest. So pretty much just the way it is in 2024. Then we have Versatile Brutal Strikes. So this is the extra effects from Brutal Strikes. So you can get Staggering Blow, where it has -con on its next saving throw and can't use reactions until the start of your next turn. Then Sundering Blow. Next attack roll against a creature other than you has... from creature other than you against target has +con to the attack roll. So basically, hey, here's a bonus to hit this guy. Then 15th level with Persistent Rage. Your rage no longer ends unless you fall unconscious. It also lasts 10 minutes instead of just 1. Whenever you end your turn while raging, you regain 4 HP. So now this also gives you a keep going effect, so you constantly are regenerating HP. Then we have at 17th level Savage Brutal Strikes, where when you trigger a Brutal Strike, choose 2 effects instead of 1. Then at 18th level, we have Indomitable Might. Whenever you make a con or strength skill or tool check, you can choose to treat the d20 roll as an 8 instead of the number rolled. So rather than using your strength score or whatever it was, now it's basically reliable talent, but slightly weaker at just an 8. Then at 20th level, we have Primal Champion. So this is entirely reworked. This is not just a, here's some extra stats. Instead, all weapons can score critical hit on roll 1 lower than normal, usually 19 to 20. And you also deal plus 1d12 with all weapon attacks. You also add plus half prof to melee and thrown weapon attack rolls while raging, so you're more accurate while raging, and yeah, you're just more powerful. Boom. But in much more interesting ways, I think. Because that's something I didn't really like about the old one. So, new one, boom, here you go. Now then, what of the Barbarian paths? So, there are 4 available with the default set. They're going to be Path of the Berserker, Path of the Wild Heart, Path of the Zealot, as well as Path of the Storm Herald. So, rather than update World Tree, I decided to go back to Xanathars and update another of them, as I felt like this one kind of deserved it. I could have done Wild Magic, but I didn't want to. I wanted to do Storm Herald. But anyway, the Berserker. So their features from first level is Frenzy, Improvised Mastery, and Ignore Pain, which is their Wrath Surge. Third level, they get Vicious Blows. 6th is still Mindless Rage. 10th, Intimidating Presence. 14th is Retaliation. And 20th is True Frenzy. So, Frenzy. This is actually more like the original version, in that rather than just adding damage with your reckless attacks, which is cool and all, but this is, when you rage, you can also choose to enter a frenzy. And the first attack you hit with on your turn and adds your rage damage bonus instead deals plus 1d6 bleed and force damage, but you get -2 AC and saving throws while it is active. So while frenzied, you have a penalty to defenses, but you deal extra bleed and force damage instead of just your normal rage damage bonus. At 9th level, the bonus increases to plus 2d6, and at 17th, it becomes plus 3d6. So basically, the idea is that instead of just doing a flat amount of damage, you do a random amount of damage. There is a low chance that you do less damage than your rage bonus. However, most of the time, this will do more damage. And either way, it isn't the same types that you normally deal, as it is bleed and force. So yeah, you just go bonkers. Improvised Mastery, you're proficient with unarmed strikes and improvised weapons. I might just say you're always proficient in unarmed strikes, but I will. But you also treat their damage dice as one size higher, so 1 becomes 1d4, d4 becomes d6, d8 becomes d10, d10 becomes d12, etc., etc. So yeah, you just hit harder with improvised weapons if you want to. It's just a little fluff thing of, you're so like crazy and mad, you can just use anything on hand as a weapon. Then Ignore Pain. While raging, you can expend a Wrath Surge as a reaction to taking damage to gain Con plus Prof THP after the damage is dealt. So basically, you just use a Wrath Surge and lessen damage that you've taken, which is especially useful because Frenzy does reduce your AC and saving throws. So you will have to be careful of that. Third level, you get Vicious Blow. So when you use Reckless Attack, the first target you hit with the weapon attack must make a con save, or take 1d6 plus half Barbarian level bleed and force damage on hit. So essentially, it's a bonus thing of, oh yeah, here's some more bleed and force damage for you. And it's on any Reckless Attack. It does not require being in Frenzy. But you just hit even harder with it. 6th level, you have Mindless Rage. Immune to being charmed and frightened while raging. And whenever you start your turn while charmed or frightened, choose to rage and immediately end the effect. And you can do this even if you normally wouldn't have control of your character that turn. Basically, what it does in 2024, pretty much. 10th level is Retaliation. I forgot to flip these there. Okay, but this is the actual order. Retaliation, whenever you're damaged by an attack from a creature, and your weapons reach your range while in a frenzy, you can use a reaction to make a weapon attack against them, and it can be used as part of Ignore Pain's reaction. So this does work with Ignore Pain, so don't worry that they're both reactions, because they work together. Intimidating Presence at 14th level as a bonus action while in a frenzy. Can use cause each creature of your choice in 15 feet of you to make a wisdom save or be frightened of you for 1 minute. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest or expend a use of rage. This does require being in a frenzy, but oh well. You're going to make people scared of you now. Have fun. 20th level, True Frenzy. Basically what it does is you don't suffer the AC and saving throw penalty of a frenzy. And you deal the extra damage with every weapon attack that adds your rage damage bonus. So, yeah, you're just always doing a bunch of bleeding force damage. So basically just... And now Frenzy is absolutely bonkers. But that's kind of what I wanted for 20th level stuff, where it's like, yes, just go bonkers. Path of the Totem Warrior, aka Wildheart. Haven't renamed it yet. Probably should, though. So at first level, we have Spirit Speaker, Totem Spirit, and Spirit's Rage. 3rd, we have Spirit Strike. 6th, Aspect of the Beast. 10th, Spirit Walker. 14th, Totemic Attunement. And 20th is Spirit's Gift. So first level, Spirit Speaker. You cast Speak with Animals as a ritual. You have Lost Beast Sense as a ritual, but... I mean, let's be honest, nobody cares. Has any Barbarian ever actually used that? Ever? Because it's literally one of the worst second-ranked spells in the game. The only ones that explicitly beat it are spells that are just outclassed by something else. Like, a particularly bad one, Borrowed Knowledge, which is the worst second-ranked spell. Period. So you just get Speak with Animals, but, well. It's the only one you actually cared about. First level, you also have the Totem Spirit, so you can choose one of the following. Bear, Falcon, or Wolf. So, the Bear Totem. You just take minus con damage from all non-psychic energy damage types. So these have been changed to flat bonuses or penalties, but, well. Actually, I'm going to change this. No. Wrong button. There. So yeah, just all energy damage is reduced by minus con. Falcon Token. Totem. Excuse my sneeze. Okay, that is that. Sorry for that. Opportunity attacks have minus con on attack rolls against you, and you can dash as a bonus action. Wolf Totem. Allies have plus con on attack rolls against creatures in 5 feet of you. So basically, hey, come hit people next to me. That might change those to half con, but oh well. Yeah, I'll think about it. Then we also have, last but not least for first level, Spirit's Rage. So while raging, you expend a Wrath Surge as part of the attack action to make each melee attacks reach prof times 10 feet instead of its normal reach. So you can extend their reach, and they deal plus 1d8 force and psychic damage on hit. So basically get a bit more reach out of this one. Then at third level, we have Spirit Strike. So once per round, when you take the attack action on your turn, cause an enemy in prof times 10 feet of you to make a dex save, or take 1d6 plus half Barbarian level force and psychic damage. And you deal half damage on a successful save if the creature wasn't targeted by one of the attacks of that action. So basically, if you're trying to stack damage on one target, it doesn't have that reliability, but if you're trying to multi-target, you will have that reliability. So, a bit more reach is one of the ideas I wanted, where you summon spirits that go pounce on somebody, is kind of how I envision it. 6th level Aspect of the Beast, you can choose one of the following, and it's active all the time, whereas Totem Spirit was only while raging. So you have the Bull Totem, which is carrying capacity is doubled, and you always have advantage on strength checks to pull, push, lift, and break stuff. These are actually based on the old bonuses. I might change it to be more like the new, but right now this is what I got. Owl Totem, you can accurately see things from up to a mile away as if it were only 100 feet. And you ignore the long-range penalty of ranged weapons, and dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on investigation and perception checks, so just better at seeing stuff. Then the Panther Totem, while traveling, you can track creatures at a fast pace and move stealthily at a normal pace. Up to 7 other creatures can gain the benefit while traveling with you. So I've also renamed them, though they're not exactly the same as what 2024 might have. At least in some cases, I think. But I don't know. I'd have to double check off, because I don't remember off the top of my head, but oh well. 10th level Spirit Walker. Cast Commune with Nature as a ritual. Boom. That's what it was before. Totemic Attunement. 14th. Gain a new bonus while raging, based on the spirit chosen. Lion. While in 10 feet of you, enemies have -con on any attack roll that isn't targeting you. Eagle Totem. You have a flying speed equal to your walking speed, but you must land at the end of the movement or fall to the ground. And then the Ram Totem. Once per round, whenever you hit a creature no more than one size larger than you with the weapon attack, you can choose to knock them prone and deal plus 1d4 extra damage. So basically, tank stuff, mobility, or just extra damage. Then the Spirit's Gift. This is basically a super Wrath Surge that you can use once per rage, up to con times a day. So you have the Owlbear, which as a bonus action, you regain half your HP. Rock. As a bonus action, pull each creature of your choice in 30 feet of you up to 15 feet towards you. So you have a mass pull. Then the Hydra Totem, as a standard action, you make con weapon attacks from both you and your allies' spaces, with one attack per ally. So you can just make a bunch of attacks from everywhere. So yeah, you can also kind of tell which ones these were originally linked to from the Bear, Eagle, and Wolf. But, well. This might be modified further with what these do, but I do kind of think these are cool things of, oh yeah, here's a big effect. Though I might also make it not once per rage, but oh well. Path to the Zealots. It's these guys have, at first level, they have Religious Zeal, Warrior of the Gods, and Sacred Blast as their Wrath Surge. 3rd level, they get Divine Fury. 6th, Fanatical Focus. 10th, Zealous Presence. 14th, Rage of the Gods. And 20th is Zeal Embodied. So 1st level, Religious Zeal, gain proficiency in religion. And at 3rd level, it is part of Primal Knowledge. So basically, oh hey, you just get that as part of Primal Knowledge. Boom. It's pretended like it's a class skill. Boom. Warrior of the Gods, 1st level. You've pulled D12 dice equal to con plus half your proficiency bonus. So this now scales just off con and proficiency. And they can be used to heal you, so once per turn is a free action. Spend any number of the D12 dice and roll them, regaining that much HP. And you regain all the dice on a long rest. At 10th level, whenever you use the feature, You can also heal any creature of your choice in 10 feet of you for half the HP you regain. So basically, at 10th level, this becomes a AoE heal as well. So you can heal both yourself and your allies, because why not? Then Sacred Blast. While raging, you can expend a Wrath Surge, part of the attack action, to unleash a burst of divine power, and each creature of your choice in 5 feet of you must make a con save, or take 1d12 fire, and then necrotic or radiant damage, or half on a successful save. So yeah, I might actually make that 10 feet, but oh well. So yeah, you just radiate divine energy. So then Divine Fury. Once per round when you hit with a melee weapon or thrown weapon attack, target hit must make a dex save, or take 1d6 plus half barbarian level fire, and then radiant or necrotic damage. So, as you'll notice, they get to choose between radiant and necrotic, but they always do fire. Fanatical Focus at 6th level. Once per active rage, you can, when you fail a saving throw, choose to roll again. And your proficiency bonus is added to both rolls. And you can use either result. So, effectively, once per rage, you can add prof, and then also have a second roll to use. So, if the first roll plus your proficiency bonus would be better, you can use that. Otherwise, you can use the second roll. It's kind of just a slight improvement to what it did, just in case the second roll is worse. But anyway, subtle tweak, but it should be useful. That's kind of a philosophy I have with those. Zealous Presence at 10th. As a bonus action, while raging, you can unleash a battle cry, and up to 10 creatures other than you have advantage on attack rolls and saving throws till the start of your next turn. And you have to use Finish a Long Rest or expend a use of your rage to use it again. 14th level, Rage of the Gods. When you enter Rage, you can activate Rage of the Gods, and it lasts for the duration of that rage, not just a different duration for some stupid reason. Once you use this feature, can't use again until you finish a long rest. While active, you have the following. Fly speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. Resistance to fire, necrotic, psychic, and radiant damage. You have advantage on a con save of Relentless Rage, and whenever another creature in 30 feet of you drops to 0 HP, you can use a reaction to expend a Wrath Surge or a Warrior of the Gods die to grant the target HP equal to your Barbarian level. So, this basically, it doesn't just revive other people, it also helps you revive with Relentless Rage. And then Sacred Strike. Melee ranged weapon attacks deal plus 1d4 fire, necrotic, or radiant damage. Then Zeal Embodied. Basically, anytime you rage, you're always in Rage of the Gods. So, rather than using this cool thing once per day, it's 6 times per day. And whenever you roll Warrior of the Gods dice, you instead automatically get a result of 12 per die. So, basically the Life Domain Cleric feature, but only for Warrior of the Gods healing. Then we have Path of the Storm Herald as our final default subclass instead of World Tree. So first level we have Storm Aura and then Storm Strike from your Wrath Surge. They don't have a third feature as of now, but we'll see. Third, you get Storm's Fury. 6th is Storm Soul. 10th is Shielding Storm. 14th is Raging Storm. And 20th is Storm Unbound. So, Storm Aura. Whenever you enter a rage, you can activate a Storm Aura in a 15-foot emanation that lasts for the duration of the rage. And you choose a storm effect to manifest each time. So you can choose the Desert, where creatures of your choice in the aura have -2 AC. The Sea, where creatures of your choice in the aura have -2 on attack rolls. In Tundra, creatures of your choice in the aura are slowed by 10 feet. So, effectively, you choose one of these passive effects to add. Then we have Stormbolt. As part of the attack action while you have a Storm Aura active, choose a creature in 30 feet of you, and force it to make a dex save or take 1d12 damage of types based on your Storm Aura's type, or half on a successful save. 20th level, this is increased to 3d12 damage. So for the desert, it is fire and slashing. The sea is bludgeoning and lightning. And tundra is cold and piercing. With the idea that it's just sharp hail that's pelting your foes. So yeah, you get a energy and physical type with it. Then at third, we have Storm's Fury. At the end of your turn, while you have a Storm Aura active, each creature your choice in the aura must make a con save or take half Barbarian level damage of types based on your Barbarian level. At 20th level, this is tripled to 1.5 times your Barbarian level, so 30 damage, basically. And for the desert, this is fire and slashing, sea, bludgeoning and lightning, and then the tundra is cold and piercing. Also, that will be rounded up, actually, just so it's a bit more useful. Then at 6th level, we have Storm Soul. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can choose one of the following storms and gain the benefit of its effects until you use this feature again. So for the desert, resistance to fire damage, and you're also acclimated to extreme heat and can use a standard action to touch an unattended object and set it on fire. Basically, this is kind of the same as it was before. Sea, resistance to lightning damage. You also gain a swim speed equal to your walking speed and can hold your breath up to 4 times longer. Tundra, gain resistance to cold damage, and you're acclimated to extreme cold and can use a standard action. Touch a source of water, freeze up to a 5-foot cube, doesn't contain a creature. To ice that melts after a minute. Shielding Storm, very simple. Creatures of your choice in your Storm Aura also gain the effects of Storm Soul, so you now give this to people in your aura. 14th is Raging Storm, so while your Storm Aura is active, you gain the additional effects. Desert, whenever a creature in the aura deals damage to you or another creature in the aura, you can use a free action to deal con, fire, and slashing damage to them. The sea, whenever you damage one or more creatures with Storm's Fury, you can slide them up to 5 feet, so you can move everyone around you 5 feet in any direction. And you can only move them up and down unless if they're underwater or in the air and flying. Tundra, whenever you damage one or more creatures with Storm's Fury, can choose one of them and immobilize them until the start of your next turn. So basically just some more control effects for your Storm Aura. And then 20th, Storm Unbound. When you activate your Storm Aura, you gain the effects of all 3 storms instead of choosing just one. Stormbolt and Storm's Fury do damage of all 6 types. You don't stack the damage. And when you choose a bonus from Storm Soul, you instead gain all 3 bonuses. So basically, all the storm stuff. So you just get all the bonuses. So, and that's also why it increases to 3 times the damage. Is because that is kind of simulating the, oh yeah, they just take triple the damage. As all 3 affect them. But, yeah, that is the Barbarian. So, essentially, one of my goals with it was to kind of make it where Barbarian feels like, you know, you have some more interesting stuff to do thanks to weapon mastery, which is the whole goal of it was, you know, what's a way to close the martial caster gap? Here's my attempt to, in a way that kind of doesn't stray too far, since this is still based on 5e, but regardless of the other changes, it hasn't changed too much. It's just some quality of life stuff, like splitting the extra damage from Reckless Attack, from Brutal Strikes into its own feature, so the two aren't bound to each other. And some other little things that are just little tweaks that I hope make it a more fun and interesting class. Especially for the subclasses like Path of the Storm Herald, which it is a bit less unique with the damage stuff on the Storm Aura. But basically the idea is that the damage everything around you and the damage that specific person are split up into different features that are always available. So there's this constant storm doing damage, and then you're also able to flare it up and boom, strike you. But anyway, without further ado, I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek at D&D 5.5 as it is updated to work within the D&D 2024 rules. So, without further ado, I'll see y'all next time. Halo Zoo, out.